And we are live. Welcome, everyone. My name is Niki Lopez of Niki Lopez Creative, and you're watching The Circle, where every first and third Tuesday of the month, I'll be talking to artists, activists, social entrepreneurs, people doing great things today. And today I have a very special guest, Grace C. Lopez, the Executive Director of Aqua Foundation for Women. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Nikki. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad we were able to finally connect. So I've been hoping to reach out and have you on the program. So thank you.
This is amazing, and thank you for having me. And I'm so proud of you for The Circle and what you're creating. I mean, this is amazing to create this type of network for us. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you. I do feel I'm grateful to have the opportunity to kind of just like create something and share all the people that I know that's doing amazing things. The Aqua Foundation is doing a lot of amazing things. So, and it's Women's History Month. So I thought it would be the perfect time to have you on. So I'm going to read a quick short bio. Grace C. Lopez has been a volunteering at nonprofits most of her lifetime. Her drive to give back to the same community that provided for her is unprecedented. She joined the Aqua board in 2018 and since have moved to the board chair position and now the executive director. She is also part of the first Miami-Dade County LGBTQ advisory board serving under Mayor Daniela Levine Cava. Grace's passion is to empower others to become leaders in our community by volunteering her time to charitable organizations that speaks to their hearts. Aqua Foundation speaks to her heart in helping members of the LGBTQ community through the incredible work that the organization has been offering since 2004. So that's really, I know you're doing a lot of stuff. So thank you so much for all that you're doing.
Thank you, Nikki.
Yes, and we have, Deborah Kerr is online saying hello to Grace and Nikki. Hello, thank you for joining us. So we're live on a few places. We're live on Facebook at Niki Lopez Creative, as well as the Circle Facebook group and on YouTube. And afterwards, you could find the recording of this on any of your podcast platforms. So definitely look into it. So, let's get started. So what sparked your interest in volunteering and getting involved with the various nonprofit work that you've been involved with?
Well, it was very easy for me to realize, coming from, from poverty, from a single parent mom who came to this country, who had to figure out what to do to make ends meet. And I promised myself, it was a community that gave me toys. I grew up on government help till the age of 21. And back then I wasn't sharing that with anyone, but now I'm okay sharing it. And I promised myself that if I ever made it, and if that I was ever successful and had money, that I would absolutely give back to the community. And that was my biggest passion in giving back to the same community, to United Way, to the toy drive, to so many children charities, women charities. And that's what ignited my passion, because I was there. I was one of those kids that was underprivileged, that didn't think I can go to college, that didn't think that I can have a car. Any of the means that seem so easy today to acquire, I was one of them. And I'm here fighting for those underserved people.
That's awesome. I love that you want to go reach back and give to those organizations that's helped you. A lot of times when we're going through so much and we're just like, oh, okay, I'm on my feet. Let me just go. And sometimes, that's all that you can do, which is fine. But when you're able in a position to say, let me go back and give back, it just, helps the cycle to keep going for someone else that might be in that position too. So that's really amazing. So.
For sure. And also I had, I was involved. My background is legal management. And I was involved with many large law firms that I was able to influence in the charities that they gave, money to, and assistance. So it was a win-win situation where I felt that the community was served. The same community that gave to me, I gave back to it, and I will always, till the day I die, will be giving to it.
That's awesome. And I know you mentioned that's one of the ways that you kind of give back and empower. What are some other things that you might do or have done to either give back to the community or empower others?
So I have fundraised, I have done toy drives. I have sold candy for $1, to do fundraisers. I used to be with the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. I was there for 7 years. I empower women that were going through treatments. I would empower women that were struggling, that they didn't know that there was life after breast cancer. And I've done so many different things in collecting clothing drives for women that are entering the professional environment. For the Aqua Foundation, last year during COVID, I voluntarily reduced my salary by 50% as a way of giving back to the organization that I care so much about. So a lot of financial sacrifices, but also a lot of satisfying sacrifices that when you see the outcome of your sacrifices, it's just a win-win situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we have Valerie saying, good evening, Nikki and Grace. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely.
Hi, Valerie.
And I would have to say that Deborah and Valerie, I have to give them a special shout out because they're pretty much on regular every time. So I really appreciate that. What are some of the challenges and opportunities that you see in working in the nonprofit space?
I think that I can tell you that you don't really know what it's like to work on the other side. Most people write a check. Most people participate in a walk. Most people participate by giving, by emptying their closet and making a donation. It is so different when you're on the other side of managing and working in a nonprofit because you're on the poor side. You are absolutely, it's a humbling experience, but a very rewarding experience because of everything that you're doing for the community and for the people that it's serving. But the challenges are people themselves understanding that without them, without their support, without their commitment, without their help, there wouldn't be any nonprofits. And for smaller organizations like the Aqua Foundation for Women, we don't have the giant corporate America sponsors that most large organizations and national organizations have. So that's a true challenge for us.
Absolutely. And we have Sylvia. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Grace. Thanks for joining. Another regular. Yes, love you too, Valerie.
You have a lot of regulars. This is like, I am so honored to be here. I'm like, I feel like I'm in the circle. I'm now part of the circle. So thank you so much for having me in the circle.
Yeah. And I just want to, it's just kind of interesting because there are two Lopez. So my background is Panama, Cuba, and Jamaica. So I wanted to know, where's your Lopez background coming from?
So my Lopez background is Cuban. I was born in Cuba, was raised in Miami. So definitely that Caribbean, spice.
Yes.
I love it. My Spanish, I don't speak very well, but because I was raised in this country, but nevertheless, I could have a conversation. I know how to ask for money and donations. So that's all I need to know, really.
Yes, absolutely. I remember sometimes if I did say something in Spanish when I was little, because, kids, they pick up the bad words and it's just like, where'd you learn that from? So that was me. I was either saying something wrong and my mom was like, you sound like an American. I'm like, I am American, or the bad words. But yeah. So we have Shani saying smaller nonprofit works just as hard, if not harder, than larger ones. And as the ED of smaller NPO, I agree with Grace. Absolutely. Absolutely. Akusa Penny. She's got that Cuban spice, all right. Hey, sisters. Yes.
Now,
Absolutely.
now Penny's my sister. She's my Caribbean sister. She's
Oh my
Jamaican.
God, I love
She's
Penny.
Jamaican,
Yeah.
and she's amazing. We used to work together, and I just love her. No one can move like her.
Oh wow, yes. I met Penny many years ago. I did the largest photo shoot at the time was with Venus Rising, multi-ethnic, all women dance and drum ensemble. I'm just so grateful to still be in touch with many of them. So that's when I've been knowing Penny, and my soon-to-be 12-year-old was in my stomach. So I had like all these people in my studio, big belly, and just took some amazing pictures of them. So yes, but Penny is amazing.
Yes, she is. I love her.
What is something that people may not know about you that you're okay with sharing?
Well, speaking of Penny and speaking of drums and speaking of Caribbean and speaking of Cuba and Jamaican, it's like it's in our blood. But I'm a drummer. I not a good drummer, but nevertheless a drummer. I love percussion instruments. I have two behind me that I purposely placed here, so you can see a miniature conga,
Nice.
and another piece of instrument. I love to collect percussion instruments. I started that passion started when I at the age of 5. I had a brother who was 10 years older than me, and he was a professional percussionist, and he used to set up a drum set inside our apartment. And every time he would leave, I would jump behind the little tiny little chair, and I would start drumming, and I would start beating on things. And he would come back, and he would know exactly anything that I would move, and he would be like, "Okay, who touched my drums?" I'm like, "Not me. I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about." So he tried to teach me how to play the drums. I can't be taught. I don't read music, but I can follow music. And I just have a tremendous passion for drums.
Oh, wow.
Any drums. And I used to drive my mother crazy because I used to take boxes or buckets, empty buckets. I used to turn them upside down. I used to just drum. And it was just crazy. But I love drumming. So that's something that most people would never know about me.
That's awesome. I love drums. I haven't, well, there was Femme Africa, which also came from Venus Rising. The Grecia had a drum thing, and she got me onto doing the drums, but I don't play, but I love to hear the drums. I love to dance to the drums. Just something really magical and powerful about them. Absolutely.
I agree.
We have Shiny. I took drum lessons but stopped. I collect drumsticks and percussion instruments too. Very cool. Oh, nice. We have, Nikki, we have the Panamanian Jamaican background, just not the same name. Love the percussions as well. Absolutely. And we have Monica. Monica and Zenny are sending our warm greetings to you both. Thank you for your work in our community. We're making our donation to Aqua now. Keep up the good work. That's awesome.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Monica. Thank you for your support.
Absolutely.
Monica and I used to serve at the Susan G. Komen Foundation for several years, and she's an incredible advocate of our community, and she's wonderful. So her and her wife, thank you so much for supporting Aqua Foundation.
Absolutely. Well, that leads me to the next question. What is the Aqua Foundation for Women?
So the Aqua Foundation for Women is an organization that was formed in 2004 and is dedicated to supporting and serving the lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and non-binary community. And we do that by scholarships and initiatives that are in alignment with our mission.
Awesome. And then, I thought I saw something. What role does the Aqua Foundation for Women play within the LGBTQ space in South Florida?
So we are a small charitable organization, but I feel, and I would like to think that we play a very large role in our community because we have given close to $1 million since our existence. We have given close to 500,000 to scholarships to 72 scholars that we believe are leaders in our community. We have a mentorship program. We have an LGBTQ family barbecue. We also recognize community leaders through the Ally Awards. We also have the end of the year Aqua Affair, which is our largest fundraiser, where we celebrate our scholars, where we celebrate our mentors, where we celebrate everybody in the community that believes in the Aqua Foundation, and we have a great party. Unfortunately, as you know, with COVID, it has been very difficult for 2020, but we did a lot of the things virtually.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that leaves me, because I know there's Aqua Girl and Aqua Foundation for Women. How do those two connect, or how are they different?
And Nikki, I'm so glad that you're asking me that question, because I feel that there's a little bit of confusion. Most people don't know that the Aqua Foundation for Women was born out of Aqua Girl, not the other way around. So Aqua Girl was a great party that was thrown by incredible lesbian women in our community. And they did this for 5 years. And they were so successful in gathering all these women and throwing a beach party and gathering them in clubs and such, that they decided to get serious about giving back to the community. So they formed a nonprofit, the Aqua Foundation for Women. At that time, it was called the Garden. It was called a different name, of the Women's Fund, it was called. And then it was changed to the Aqua Foundation for Women. So it wasn't until 2004 that the nonprofit was formed. So we continue to have the Aqua Girl parties and the Aqua Girl. Aqua Girl is very special to us. Mm-hmm. And I had the pleasure of being on stage in 2019 and stating to everybody that was there in South Beach and partying and having a great time about the Aqua Foundation. And I wanted everybody to know that we're just not a party. We're not somebody that you just walk in, pay a price, stay at a hotel, and that's great. We serve something. I wanted them to know where the money went. I wanted them to know about the nonprofit and about the mothership, which I call the Aqua Foundation for Women, which is the nonprofit. So, but Aqua Girl is our powerhouse for having parties, for bringing the younger generation of, the LGBTQ women. So it's our baby, so to speak.
I went to a couple of the parties many, many moons ago. But I like that, it's like a party with a purpose. Like, you're going to do something, but it's also meaning so much more to our community, to society, to so many people. So that's amazing.
And not only that, Nikki, but it's also been our largest fundraiser for many, many, many years, because it's the biggest attended, function that we have.
That's awesome. We have Valerie. It's amazing that you're giving back, Grace. It's a selfless act and is so needed in the world. How were you able to set up the foundation?
So I didn't set up the foundation. I started in 2018. The foundation was started by 6 lesbian women in the community that are very powerful, and they remain powerful still, who used to be with the Aqua Girl, and then they're the ones that formed the foundation. It was one particular woman, Alicia, that decided to get serious about giving back and talked to a couple of women and started a board of directors, and then they formed the nonprofit.
And we have Shani. Aqua Girls came to the Pensacola many years ago to do a pride event with us. So glad it birthed the Aqua Foundation. Yeah, and I didn't know. I thought too that it came after the foundation. So that's very interesting. And that's really nice. Like, wait a minute, we're onto something. We could do something with that. So I think that's amazing. Absolutely.
It can be like the circle, Nikki. You can make this a foundation one day. You start with having people, and you start this, as a gathering and networking, and maybe a party, the circle party one day or such. And then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, wait, there's a component missing, and that component is about giving back.
Yeah. And I do some versions of it. Like, we have the Facebook group, The Circle, and so we do, I haven't done one in a while, but I've done it, especially with the pandemic, doing like a Zoom check-in and have people on, and because of the pandemic, because not like 2 years ago, I did something in my home studio where I had invited people people were either artists or independent, people in different organizations. And so we gathered, it was like towards the end of the year. So everyone got a chance to celebrate and connect and network, and also to share like what they were up to and what are some goals coming into 2020. We didn't know there was going to be a pandemic, but definitely I love, I also curate a lot of events, and that's kind of the thing, bringing different groups of people together. That's always something that's been really, now I think that that's not like, for me, asking for the money is not my wheelhouse. So I'd have to get somebody, because I could do everything else, but it was just like, hey, that part of like, I need some money to fund this. I have to work on that, or find somebody actually who that's their thing. They're like, hey, I don't care, I'm asking for it. Spanish, English, French.
Asking for money is not as easy as it seems.
Yes.
But when you have a really good purpose and a good cause, and when you hear the stories of the people that you have touched, it's unbelievable. And I wanted to share, Nikki, also that one of the things, very similar to the circle, one of the things that we're very proud of at the Aqua Foundation that we did during the pandemic was we created Aqua Cares, which is a segment that we featured artistic talent, so local talent, also professionals that spoke about wellness, and also LGBTQ owned businesses. We created that for the same purpose you're doing this, to connect our community, to stay connected, to bring relevant conversations to screen, to social media, so people know that we exist and that we really truly care. And that was a giant success, and we are continuing to do that. We have one coming up next week, March 24th, where we'll be featuring our wellness, Aqua Cares Wellness. So.
Awesome. That's, yeah. And if you send me the links if I don't see it, and I'll be sure to, I'll add it to the comment. I've added some links to the comment where people can connect to Aqua Foundation. But I'll share the information if, once I have that.
Thank you so much, because you have a huge following, by the way. So that's amazing. So thank you. And anything you post out there is like, wow, I've been getting friend requests of people that I've known or should know just because you posted all these things last night. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm just, I'm doing my job, doing, what I can. So, and that's the thing, hoping to keep in that space of always doing what I can, and hoping to encourage others to do what they can, so exactly. I'm grateful for that. So absolutely. What is TransCon and why is it important?
So TransCon was formed. It is a product of the Aqua Foundation for Women, and it was a program it's a conference. It was a 3-day conference that was led and planned by the transgender community. And the reason that we find it so important is because the transgender community and the non-binary community is one of the most underserved communities in our LGBTQ community. So, TransCon is probably not going to happen as it has happened in the past, because we're thinking of perhaps maybe a hybrid this year, to have a in-person when it's safe to be out there, and also a virtual. So we're in the planning stages of offering TransCon right now.
Awesome. What are some of the challenges within the LGBT community that the Aqua Foundation of Women's addresses? I know you've mentioned a lot, but what are some, others that might come to mind?
I think a challenge may be that there's not enough collaboration between nonprofits, and there may be some sort of competition. Everybody's chasing the same dollars, and they don't realize that coming together, and serving more is key. It's really key. So that's a real challenge. I feel that the larger nonprofits have the resources, they have the staff. I'm the only staff member at the Aqua Foundation, so I depend on my dog, number one, and my second dog, number two, to provide assistance to me when I need it. And it could be wagging of the tail or just looking at me like, you're crazy, mom. But so we lack the resources that the larger organizations have. That's the biggest challenge.
Hmm. And I think, and I totally agree with you in terms of collaboration, because we don't have, the larger organizations, they have not just the dollars, but they have the power of the people. They have volunteers, their interns, people who work there. They have just a large reach. And I think, it'll be good for, I want to see more of larger organizations reaching back and getting the small, making space for smaller organizations, making space for grassroots organizations. Sometimes, you have all these like large galas and, people, who are doing a lot of the groundwork, don't have the resources, the financial resources to be there. So I think, a lot of time their fundraisers is good, but make that space for the smaller orgs and the, hey, we got two people, but we're doing it, so all of those things count. And collaborating with other people, now you amplify the voice, you get to cross promote, you get to like find something like, oh, I didn't even know you did this, so absolutely, I can't agree with you more. So.
Yeah, no, it's been absolutely tough, and it can be as simple as having the virtual platform, right? It can be, I do the Aqua Cares, segments, and it's me interviewing the people. It's me admitting people to come in the room, and it's me, trying to, for people not to see everything that's happening in between. So it's like, oh my goodness, where others have the banners and they have everything happening and the PowerPoints and the presentation and the asking of donations. Yeah, we like that. But one day we're going to get there. One day Aqua Foundation is going to be there.
Absolutely. What is something you feel people may not know about Aqua Foundation?
Well, I think that the biggest thing that people may not know is that we are Aqua Girl, that we are the Aqua Foundation, we are the non-charitable organization, and they don't know how much we have helped our community with grants in the homeless youth, arena, and how much we have helped a lot of the programs that are offered with training that we have been supporting financially. A lot of the small organizations that we have supported with sponsorships that we also have, very important to highlight, Aqua Cares, has an emergency fund for any member of the LGBT community that is in immediate need of financial aid. We are able to provide them with at least $200, whether it's for groceries, whether it's for their cell phone, whatever it is, there's an application. They can go online. Everything is on our website. And people don't know that. People don't know that we are a financial resource, and we're there for our community and that we truly care. And that we have made an impact of close to $1 million. People don't know that. So that's something worthy to know.
Absolutely. That's impressive. How can people get involved with Aqua Foundation for Women, or how can people support? I know someone mentioned that they're about to do a donation, which is great. So what are some of the ways that people can support?
Well, people can support by joining our email list, going to our website, learning to see and read about the things that we have done throughout the years, our history, how we became involved with the community, the people that we have helped. We have highlighted some of our scholars in our website. People can reach out to me, directly at grace@aquafoundation.org, or they can go onto our website to the Aqua Foundation /donate/ and make a donation. We have lost, one of the things that people may not know, we lost a lot of the grants. We were not able to host our Aqua Girl event, which is the largest fundraiser. And we lost a lot of the funding because a lot of the funding went to the people that needed the most, that needed food, small businesses that needed to bounce back. So, and we also had an election year last year that a lot of the donations went to nonprofits that supported our candidates, which is great. That's where the money needed to go. But Aqua Foundation needs your help, and there's so many ways. Right now, you can volunteer to help me with virtual events, and once we get back on our feet, you can be volunteer. And also, we're looking for board members. We're looking for members of the LGBT community. We have a lot of positive surprises coming up soon. that I'm not going to announce yet, but I hope to announce very soon, the next 2 weeks. But people joining our board, and I'm always looking for talent and influential people to join our board.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, and I have it on the ticker aquafoundation.org. It's also on the comment section on Facebook and YouTube. So definitely check it out. And I know you all are on Instagram as well. So Aqua Foundation, Aqua Girl, both are on the social media platforms. So definitely connect with them. With all these things that you have going on, do you have any like personal care, self-care routines that you are into?
Well, playing the drums makes me happy, but I think that what works best for me is just my attitude, staying positive, even when, and empowering others, even though I don't have energy enough for myself to empower myself. Empowering others is really important, but most of all is staying positive. And for every no, I find two yeses. And for every door that closes, I find 3 that open. And I believe in the universe, and I believe in signals, and I believe that this will be a greater place in the future. So staying positive is really, really important.
Absolutely. If you had access to a time machine, where would you go, past or the future, and why?
Oh boy. I'm an Aquarius, so we're futuristic thinkers, and we always think about the future. We always think about progression. So I would go way into the future, really, really way into the future, and to see the Aqua Foundation at a $5 million organization nationwide.
Yeah, that's it's going to be interesting to see how everything evolves, because we have so much going on right now. So yeah, that's a great one. So any like closing thoughts and final words? I know you said you have something on an event coming up soon.
Yes, I'm going to be a co-host at Queer News, Happening Out, and that's going to be next week. I hope that you get to see me on that. I'm honored to serve there as well. And my message to everybody is, please get involved. Get involved with the community. Get involved with something that speaks to your heart, something that you're incredibly passionate about. And then don't look at the time that you devote to these organizations. Look at the impact that you're making along the way.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it was just such a pleasure to have you here. Closing out, well, Women History is all of March, but I recently moved the circle to be twice a month. So it's just really an honor and a pleasure to have you here, have you representing Aqua Foundation, Aqua Girl on the circle. So thank you so much for joining us here. So
thank you, Nikki. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure and wonderful to see you. And happy Women's Month. This is amazing.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so for those of you who are watching online, please consider sharing this to your friends, your family, your networks. You never know who is online that is going to get inspired and want to reach out to Aqua Foundation and help. There are many ways to go about it. Valerie is saying, have a great evening, Grace and Nikki. Absolutely, you too. There's many ways. So if, that's an easy way to show support, right? If you're not in the position financially or physically or whatever to do that support, sharing this information with the people that gives someone else the opportunity to jump in and help out and keep this thing going. So I want to just encourage that. And for those who's going to listen to it on the podcast or a replay, thank you so much for listening. Please do consider sharing. The circle is brought to you by Niki Lopez Creative, as well as What's Your Elephant. What's Your Elephant is a project that uses the arts to create a safe space to talk about anything unspoken. So if anyone who wants to have a little bit more information about some of the work that I do and projects, you could go to what'syourelephant.org. You could also log into Linktree/Niki Lopez 19 to find some more information, and get involved. There's things I got going on. There is a donate button on What's Relevant as well. So taking a cue from Grace in that space. But definitely thank you so much, Grace, for being here and for joining us, and for everyone here this evening.
My pleasure. Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome. And I would say we're going to sign off for tonight. Good night.